Hi, my name is Kenneth Davison, and for this presentation I'll be talking about the 1936 Olympics. In particular, Joe Rance. Most people have a love-hate relationship with the 1936 Olympics. People love what athletes such as Jesse Owens accomplished there, but not the Nazis who hosted it. The Nazis were using the Olympics to push their agenda, that German Aryans were the superior race. They did this by cleaning up Berlin, building a gigantic sports complex, and cleaning anti-Semitic rhetoric out of the newspapers so that they could appear to be tolerant. They also intended to do this through athletics. However, athletes such as Joe Rance proved that anyone of any national origin can become great through hard work and perseverance. Most everyone knows about Jesse Owens and how he broke 3 world records and won 4 gold medals. But there are athletes such as Joe Rance who are less known but had equally terrific successes at the Olympics. Joe Rance was one of the young men of the 8-oared rowing team from the University of Washington that represented the United States in the Olympics. These hard-working regular young men had come from behind victory, being the dominant German 8 who were the expected winners. Joe was born on March 31, 1914, in Spokane, Washington. His mother died when he was 3, and he was abandoned by his father and stepmother when he was 15. Rance fended for himself for 3 years until his brother convinced Rance to come live with him for his senior year of high school so that he could graduate and get accepted into college. Rance was accepted into the University of Washington, but before he could attend the university, he needed money. So for 15 months, he worked as a manual laborer, cutting hay and paving roads. In college, Joe joined the rowing team. The freshman rowing team, which included Rance, was so good that the whole team was promoted the next year to varsity. Rance and his showmates would go on to never lose a race in their college career. The University of Washington's crew, with Joe in seat 7, came from behind to beat the University of Pennsylvania's elite Ivy League crew at the U.S. Olympic trials, earning them the right to represent the United States at the 1936 Olympics. The U.S. 8-oared rowing team rowed the preliminary heat on August 12th, racing France, Japan, Czechoslovakia, and Great Britain. The winner of the preliminary heat would proceed directly to the medal race. The losers would have to re-row the next day and win that heat to make it to the medal race. The U.S. rowing team powered their way through their preliminary heat, beating second-place Great Britain by a full 20 feet. Switzerland and Hungary also won their preliminary heats. The next day, Germany and Italy easily won the re-row heat, but Great Britain had to row the fastest time of the day to beat the strong Canadian and French crews. In the medal race, the United States would face the following: Italy, Germany, Great Britain, Hungary, and Switzerland. The lane assignments for the finalists were enormously skewed in favor of Germany and her greatest ally, Italy. Instead of assigning the best lanes to the crews with the fastest qualifying times, as is the usual procedure, the lane assignments were the opposite of what anyone would expect based on the qualifying times. The lanes assigned handicapped the most talented and fastest boats and gave every advantage to the slower boats, by giving the protected lanes to the host country and her closest ally, and the worst lanes to her prospective enemies. There was a further handicap faced by the Americans. Don Hume, the stroke of the crew, whose job was to set the pace for the 7 oarsmen rowing behind him, had been sick ever since arriving in Berlin. He had not gotten any better. In fact, he had gotten worse. In the 6 different crew races leading up to the 8-oared final, the German oarsmen dominated, winning 5 golds and 1 silver. The pressure on the Americans leading up to the 8-oared finals was enormous, as they heard the Nazi national anthem over and over again every time the Germans won. Despite the pressure and the handicaps, the United States was able to overcome the odds and win the gold with a come-from-behind victory, just barely beating the Germans and Italians. Today, this race is considered one of the greatest in the history of rowing. While the Nazis might have tricked people into believing that they were a model country, they could not trick people into thinking that the Aryan Germans were somehow more athletic simply by the fact that they are German. Athletes such as Joe Rance prove this. Joe Rance and athletes like him show that the race of a person does not matter. Through hard work and perseverance, anyone can achieve greatness.